Hi, Meelah.
Hey, hi friend. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I have rushed to put myself together for you.
I appreciate it. Always appreciate you taking some time out to talk to us.
Of course. Thank you. No, I'm like honestly, you gave me a reason to put makeup on and get dressed and like
Awesome.
feel like a pretty girl today. Like, so
Well,
thank you because I've been around here bumming it.
how are you holding up in this pandemic and everything going on?
It's been a little it's been interesting. I mean, I'm blessed. My family's blessed. No one, super close to me has been affected or ill, but it's just, I'm here raising my son who is in school. He's in 5th grade. So
Hmm.
that's been interesting. I've had my days, I'm not gonna lie, where I've felt a little stir crazy and a little like wanting to just bash my head into the wall and scream for
Right.
help. But we're good. I'm good. I'm surviving. We're all good. It's just it's so different and new for everybody. So it's just been like
Yeah.
it's been challenging, to say the least. I've had like work canceled. I haven't been able to finish projects that I started.
Yeah.
I'm, by trade, I'm nobody's educator, honey. So the schooling has been interesting with me and my son, to say the least.
Yeah.
He's not into it. He's in his home and he's in his element. So he's not wanting to do anything scholastic. So, or
Right.
academic, yeah. So that's been definitely interesting. But I mean, the trade-off is we're all healthy and well. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's awesome to hear. I gotta tell you though, Meelah, we've been waiting on this solo album
For
for quite
18
some
years,
time.
honey. I
Can you
know.
tell us anything about it?
I can tell you lots. So what I will say is I've been talking about it for a very long time. I didn't have, I've just been going the independent route for years now, as you know. It's not ever been like my, I guess, super hard focal point, because when I
Hmm.
realized I was a mother, that kind of took over everything. And then a mother
Yeah.
with a special needs kid, like that definitely just like shifted my trajectory and just kind of slowed me down a bit. So that's like not my number one hustle anymore. So I'm
Right.
taking my time. And then on top of all of that, I didn't really, like I said, I wasn't signed to anybody, just kind of doing my own thing, which was a blessing because you have full creative control. But now, I think as of like maybe 2 years ago, um, signed, with Soul Child and distributed through E1. So that's given me, a bit more of a platform.
Right.
So that's when I really started recording the album, 2017. And then I stopped for like a year, got back on
Okay.
the road. Yeah, because I got 702 back together,
Yeah.
and we went on the road. That took about a year and a half out of the process. And,
Yeah.
and honestly, I gotta say, I've just been learning more and more about who I am as an individual. I've changed. I'm not the Meelah that I was when I first started recording.
Hmm.
I've been through a lot of different things. I have a lot more to sing about, a lot more to write about. So a lot of stuff that I had done in the past was kind of written for me, submitted,
Right.
doing songs that I was demoing for, I'm saying, that were written for someone else, but then I kind of like gave it a go. But now it's like stuff that I am writing and stuff that is about my life and stuff that I've really gone through.
Awesome.
So I don't mind taking a little more time, a little more extra time to give you, a little more, um, just a little more, not just quality, but who I really am. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
a little more integrity. I don't want to just put out something just because somebody wrote it for me and it's a hot song. So
Right.
bear with me. I know I've been talking about this during the album for 18, 19, 20 years, honey. But the cool thing is, I can take my time. I can do that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And I'm grateful. Now, I know that the industry has changed so much and people's, what you call that, attention span is like this long.
Mm.
The child, they really probably don't care that much no more, but I'm so good. Like, but I'm so grateful that, there are people that do still care. So for those of you who do, thank you. Thank you for your patience. I'm actually done recording. The COVID just
Wow.
the COVID kind of interrupted the flow of the beginning process of mixing and mastering.
Wow.
And we're trying to get this thing out, man. I was supposed to have it out by summer, and then COVID happened, and that just changed everything. So immensely. So it's definitely inching along, but by God, I am going to get this thing out 2020.
Really, 2020?
Yes, I started because the idea, we wanted it to be like a conceptualized themed album.
Mm.
As I started to record, I realized it's really all about my relationship with my ex, with music and everything we went through from the breakup on to like present. So I
Yeah.
started it off really angry and hurt and upset and just pissed off at the world. And so I had a lot of emotional records. And then as time went on, I just wanted to be more transparent, but not so heavy, but still just really what I went through and what what I was feeling in the relationship. So it's an emotional album. And sometimes that takes time, friend. That just drains you sometimes. But the good thing is I came out of it with all smiles. We're in a super duper great space now, and it made for a great album, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. We decided to make it, well, initially it was going to be a visual album. We got one visual in, and then it's just so
Yeah.
just a few bumps in the road, but it's not going to stop the flow. We're going to keep it moving, even if we have to shift and change some of the things that we had planned on doing. I'm gonna push through. So it's coming. And I do have 3 singles out there, actually, streaming, that people can hold on to while I'm still doing this.
Dope.
Yeah, they came out like last year before. I think the last one was I Do What I Feel Like.
Yep.
Before, I just wanted to try something different. Before that,
Desert Love.
Put out Desert Love and Now You're Mad by the same producer.
Yeah.
I know man. I know you be on your stuff. Thank you.
I'm just excited. It's something's coming this year. We're willing to be more patient. Don't worry.
I know. Thank you. It's just like, girl. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing about being independent and just like, I guess the times we're living in now versus when I was, on a major is that you can take your time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anybody could just put something out. You know what I'm saying? You have all these different streaming platforms, the Spotify's, the Pandoras, the Google Plays, the SoundClouds. I mean, on and on and on and on. So that's why I threw those singles out, just to test the waters, see what people would bite, what they would, embrace. But you're right. I think everybody's just ready for me to put something out. And I wanted to put out a song. Well, not necessarily. I lied. I take that back. I didn't want to put out a song during the quarantine because I'm tired of just putting out singles. Like, I want to give y'all a whole body of work.
Yeah.
Aren't you ready for that? Ain't you ready for that, friend? Yes, you are.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's
I have to mention this comment I see here. Our guy Planet 12 Law mentioned Meelah is one of the most severely underrated singers in R&B history. I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, your voice is amazing.
Thank you. I hear that a lot. Underrated, underdog, whatever. I mean, listen, I don't even look at it like that. I do appreciate that, though. I think what I've learned as an adult and just where I am in life is that I made my mark in this industry. It doesn't mean that I have to be done, but I've contributed in a way that I'm very, very pleased with. And, the fact that my voice, along with the contribution from 702 as a collective is now used with other artists or on other artists' songs, you know what I mean? Like sampling, and this new generation just kind of being introduced to our music, and just like sometimes hearing, my voice, whether it's sped up or whatever, and like a little riff playing it on a song over and over and over, chopped and screwed. Listen, I'll take it. I'm just like, like that makes me feel good. So I'm grateful.
Dope.
I don't feel like I've been slighted in any way. And it was just, I realized at the end of the day, that's my fate, and that's what, God has for me. And I'm not saying I'm done, but like, it's all right. I'm good. I don't need the validation. You feel me? Like being like bigger than I guess than I am in certain people's eyes, like being underrated.
Right. So humble. I love it.
Well, listen, there's not a lot of that going around these days, so I pride myself in that.
Yeah, I noticed. Well, you mentioned 702 and reuniting with the group. R&B fans were so happy you guys did that. For the fans, what was it like being in that moment?
For a long time, it was something that I wasn't really interested in, and not because, I'm going solo, I'm solo, I'm the lead singer, like nothing like that. I think we all had moments where we just kind of had been apart for so long and had gone through our own, woes and growing pains, if you will, being in the group, that we all just kind of took a break from it. And I'm sure probably each one of us, and not to speak for them, but I feel confident in saying that each one of us, I'm sure, have had moments of like, hell no, I'm done. I don't want to, I'm good. I'm good on 702. You know what I mean? Like, we grew up together. We did 3 albums, and we were together from teenage years to our 20s. You know, that's a long
Yeah.
time. So being received, fast forward to what, 2017, I think we made an impromptu surprise guest appearance at the Soul Train Awards in Vegas on the carpet. And the reception was just, I mean, it was a blessing. And we finally got on the road in 2018. The embrace was awesome. I'm
Right.
glad that I was able to, you know, get back in touch with the girls, and I was able to, it felt like we were able to pick up where we left off on the positive notes.
Yeah.
The good stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you look back,
Interesting trying to, not to cut you off, but I think
Yeah.
for me, it's just always kind of challenging just to establish myself as an individual. You know, I'm sure they probably have felt that way as well at some point in life. And not even just about the music, but just in general, like just as an individual person, you know.
Right.
It's probably, you know, gonna forever be Meelah from 702, Meelah of 702, you know, and it's like, it's a blessing because that's what got me here, and even allowing me to speak to you want to play. But at the same time, it's like, dang, like I'm about to be 50, and it's it's like, dang, if I round my age to the nearest 10th, I'm about to be like 45. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I really just want to be, but it's cool, you know. It's not a bad association, so I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing.
I got you.
It's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
When you guys were doing shows together again, was there any talk of ever doing new music?
We always got the question, and you know, I started working on my album before we even got back together because I got that situation with you know, Soul Child and E1. That was such a, and honestly, our goal was always, well, not even necessarily a goal, but I think the objective was always at least just to get on the road and see how that worked out. And you know, if other opportunities came along, i.e. like maybe television, like I honestly wanted to try our hand at television just because that just seems to be the new music, the new record deal, the new everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you just get so much from television. It's so it's like you're walking poster board, you're walking, you know, advertisement. Like the television platform is bananas. So we got that question a lot too. Are you interested in reality TV, whatever. So, you know, we just never really went as far as doing the music because I think we wanted to just give the fans, I know personally, I felt like, let's give the fans the hits, the songs they love us for, the songs that made us us, and keep it moving. Because unfortunately, it just seems like people don't really care that much about new music from, you know, groups back in my era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just seems like they want to hear the hits. They want to hear the stuff that gives them nostalgia. They want to hear seriously, they want to hear the familiar stuff. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yep.
That's true,
now,
actually.
Yeah, you know, so no, we never even really tapped into it. I'm sure the fans want something, but it's a lot that goes into, you know, just being in a group and just the dynamics, and it's just, we're all wives and mothers and all of that good stuff. It's just a lot these days, and then we live in a different city. It's just a lot. But look, back to that Meelah project. I'll have some music for you soon.
Absolutely. Which we're most excited about.
So yeah.
I need to touch on some of your history a bit. You know, I love hearing about some of these facts that people may have overlooked from years past. You know, the work you put in on Faith Evans' Faithfully album. Yep. A lot of people don't realize you contributed to that album. You know, can you talk about being a part of that?
Yeah. So I was blessed and honored to be a part of. I wasn't a protege. That kind of ended up being the narrative, but I was never really a protege. We just happened to share management, and so at the time, I was able to contribute to some of the projects that she did. I wrote on a couple of songs with her and sang backgrounds on a couple of other songs as well on the album. That was really dope. You Get No Love, Don't Cry, Mesmerize. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when I heard that fact years after I had first heard the project, and I went back and I heard your vocals, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, we never realized at the time.
I know, right? I'm so shout out, you know, to her and Top Rusa. I was able to get on the song she did with Pharrell.
Yeah.
That was my first time meeting Pharrell. I think we met up. Yep. So, man, listen, I go back when I tell you I've been grinding for a long time. Like when I wasn't in 702, I was singing backgrounds for so many different artists and writing with so many different artists. I lived in LA for 11 years, and I got to work with, you know, really dope artists like Raphael Sadiq and
Wow.
yeah, he's incredible. You know what I mean? And I got in, of course, Macy Gray. I wrote on her album. You know, I know people saw me maybe for a stint doing background singing, actually, which ultimately is still a blessing. I had a ball. Like, oh my God, I got like three passports just fooling with Macy alone. Okay, but
wow,
you know, Macy Gray. I'm like, she will keep you overseas. I love it. But I got to write with them too. You know, and I got to be around just all of that freaking talent. They are so gifted, and just to suck all of that up and just kind of be a student. You know, you never stop learning. And at first I was so conflicted by ending up in the world of background singing when, you know, coming from a front girl in a successful group. You know, I was very just almost kind of like embarrassed in the beginning, and then I'm like, because you know, at the time I was just like, yo, it was really just about survival at that point for me. I had no management anymore, no team, no business manager, no lawyers, like nothing. We, you know, 702 had broken up, and I was just kind of like in LA, just like grinding, hustling, trying to find my way. And ended up doing that, you know, to pay the bills, man. And it went from one gig to like 3 years. I ended up on the road with Macy Gray for at least 2 or 3 years. And I think my last gig with her, like I was pregnant with Zach in Hong Kong, like 6 months.
Really?
And I was like, okay, it's time to stop now. But I knew that's not what I ultimately wanted to do. You feel me? Like that wasn't really what I was like. I'm like, I know this not really my, you know, my main mission in life. So I kind of like stopped for a minute to be Zach's mom and to kind of like, you know, give my career a second go, and it got a second win and a rebirth when I moved here to Atlanta and did R&B Divas, and it's just been, you know, pretty cool.
That's dope. You know, another song you were on, I didn't even realize, was the Missy Elliott song "Take Away" on background vocals.
Yeah, actually not even just background vocals. I actually did a verse on "Take Away," and before Genuine was on the song, before Tweet was on the song, I was with Missy pretty much most of her whole album on the So E. What is Missy? So E, Miss Addicted. Wait, you know what I'm talking about? Missy. Yeah. Missy So Addicted. Miss E. So Addicted album. Yeah. Me and Tweet were there for most of that recording, and we had a ball. Like, oh my God, Missy.
That's dope.
Missy is just crazy, and you know, she's always been like a big sister to me. So she's so creative. When it's time for her to work, you know, she locks us out. Like, okay, girl, let me get these verses down. But being that I was there, she called me in like, yo, I want you on the song. So she created it, her and Tim, and I sang a verse, and then she added Genuine later to it, and then a different version with Tweet. But again, another honor, man, and I was so grateful. Like, I love that song. Like, that is still my groove to this day. It's a really cool
That's
song.
amazing.
Yeah, I had a good time doing that. I've done a lot. You know, I don't really put it out there, but I definitely have grinded and paid my dues after 702, during 702, still today. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm a cool, humble chick, because I know what it is to be, you know, on the top, on the bottom, and everything in between. So that's amazing. I love that perspective. It's so real, and I've worked with so many people, and just like I said, to be able to say that, you know what I mean? Like, I was around Puff for a while, Puffy, and put me in, you know, he wanted to put me in Total, and I worked with them for a hot second. You know, shout out to Keisha and Pam, love them, love Kima too. Like, they were always big sisters, and you know, I just flirted with that idea for a minute. I loved them so much; they were so dope. But of course, ultimately, I was just like, okay, I'm not. It just didn't work out. I wasn't really trying to be a group hopper, but the fact that I was even asked and considered to be a part of that, they felt like, what? Their swag was on a trillion. That's like, I didn't even have their swag back then. I got it now, okay, but I didn't have it back then. So but them include a little corny square me back then, and then like Total oozes swag, like what? Black leather before it was what? So that was dope and fun. You know, I'm just like, I got stories for days and so much stuff that I've contributed to and been a part of. And I mean, I'm sure I'm not even naming some of the other people I worked with. I can't even think, but always humbled and grateful for the opportunities.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even realize. Actually, I had heard that Total story from, we talked to Pam from Total last year, and she told us that. And we were like, no way. That's crazy. That would have been insane.
Pam is a sweetheart. She is so, like, both of them, they are, man, such sweethearts. Yes.
I realized today, though, with 702, that Tiffany Villarreal was originally part of that group. I didn't know that at all. You know, I had followed her career as a solo artist, but I didn't know she was part of the group. Can you talk about that?
Do you? So that's one of my best friends. We talk all the time. We are so
really?
close. I love my Tiffany. Yes, we went to high school together, and she and I remained really close friends. So, hey, Tiff. Yeah, man, Tiffany and I started the audition process together to be in 702. Like, we had an audition. Okay, you know, they had auditions. Because as you know, if you follow 702, you know, they had this little game out with Subway with 4 members before me. So we had an audition when Michael Bivins wanted to remix the group. And yeah, Tiff and I started that process together. And then ultimately Mike just decided to make it a trio. But we remained cool with Tiff. Tiff was always a part of the family. Like, she would be around all the time. But yeah, we went to high school together. We graduated together. Like, I got our graduation picture together. Like, that's my girl.
Right. That's dope. That's cool.
In real life, she's so dope. The girl is so talented. I love her voice. Like, so dope. Yeah. Talk about underrated. Like, if we want to use that term, yes, she's definitely one that is underrated. I love Tiffany, but I love the fact that you know, stay up on her and you've heard her stuff, and she's so talented.
Absolutely. You know, another piece of your history I'd love to talk about. You know, we talked about Missy a bit, but you guys were down with Missy. You were cool with Missy before she even had an album out. And, you know, when she put her debut out, you were on Beat Me 911, amazing song. That's probably my favorite song on that album. I mean, just talk about what it was like working with Missy back in the day.
Oh, thank you. You know, that's music. He told me that too when we first started dating. You know, that's what got him. That Beat Me 911 got him. He loved that song. Yeah. No, that's a dope record, and it's timeless, and it's like it could come out today because Timbaland has just always been ahead of his time, and you know what I mean? And so is she. Gosh, what was that experience? I remember that daggone crazy video when we that video we were freaking Barbie dolls. She's just always been animated and just hella innovative, and you know, she's just like a big sister. Like I said, she would have us in the studio and make you laugh. She's a jokester all the time. Silly, it still is. She's so silly. Shout out to Missy. She actually just left me like a voice text for Mother's Day, and I almost cried. It was so sweet.
Wow.
I know, I hadn't heard from her in a minute. We try to keep in touch. We talk every blue moon, but we try to at least, you know, just touch bases here and there and make sure everybody's okay. So she left me a Mother's Day text, voice note, and I thought that was the sweetest thing. I texted her back and was like, you really literally just made me like, I was like, so shout out to Miss. Hey girl, hey. But it was dope. I mean, every time I recorded with Missy, it was always fun. She always made it fun. You know, she came from a group too, sister, and she would just always tell me how I reminded her of herself when she was in her group. And I mean, I have nothing but good memories, man. I really appreciate just the stuff we did together. Like Steelo, to me, When My Girls, it was our biggest hit, but that Steelo was just like, that's it for me. I love that song. I love that. I don't know if it's that sample from The Police, you know, group Sting was in, or I don't know what it is, but it knocks. To this day, it still knocks to me. So yeah, Beat Me 911 was just crazy. It was just a blessing to be a part of something, because she had already done so many songs for us. It was a blessing to be a part of a project she was doing, you know, and so early on in our career. So that was a good look. I appreciate that.
Just got one more question for you. We're almost out of time. Don't want to take up too much of your time. What is your favorite, I guess, 702 album? Would it easily be the first one? I know the second one, it was a bit bigger commercially, it went platinum, but is it automatically the first one that your favorite?
That's a hard question.
We could even say the third one, because the third one just never really got the attention it deserved.
Unfortunately,
yes, it did. It did.
The politics behind it just made it kind of fall off before it was even released.
Yeah.
Freaking over.
That wasn't fair.
Dude,
that was never fair.
Don't even get me started on the unfairness. But
we're still waiting for the "Yeah, I Still Love You" video.
I was about to say, but those even though the record, you know, the album kind of bombs because, like I said, the politics and whatever was going on behind the scenes, people still took to "I Still Love You." It wasn't an official single. It did what it did on its own, and like the fact that that song gets mentioned all the time. Even though it wasn't like a promoted single or nothing, like that says a lot. That speaks volumes about how amazing it was. But I don't know my favorite album. I'm gonna have to give it to the first one. Like you said, the second one was our biggest, but the first one to me, shout out to Todd Russo. He put that together quite well. The whole team at that time, we were so young and green. And those records, I think, were even just before our time. I think we were like 15, 16, 17, recording Get It Together. Like, I didn't know what I was singing about, you know what I mean? And I think the song Donnell Jones did his thing with that. Shout out to Donnell Jones. Like, I'm just shouting everybody out today because every time I do an interview, I be forgetting and then I be feeling bad. But it takes a tribe, you know, and I know that there are a lot of people who contributed to our success. But Steelo, like I just said, forever a classic. Get It Together. Those are the singles. But then if you really want to dig deep, you know, Finding My Way, the very last song on the album, which was from Malik Pendleton, like shout out to him. Like that song, I mean, it might have even been too grown for us at the time, but it has such a grown, adult, jazzy vibe. And everybody that knows me in real life knows I love jazz. So I love that album. I think that album was a great starting point for, you know, a group of 3 young girls out of Vegas. So I thought it was a really good starting point. Like it was a solid body, really good solid body of work. It had some bangers. Missy wrote like 3 or 4 songs on there. It was just really a good record. And then we had, of course, the All I Want, the Good Burger jump off that they used. You know, like, who don't like that? You know, you gotta love that with the sample in it from Jackson 5, and then I think like Biggie used the sample. I can't think of the song, but on All I Want. And I mean, who knew it was going to be a part of the freaking Good Burger tagline or whatever? But Steelo, Cousin Skeeter. I mean, I'm taking it back. You got to be my age to really know these Nickelodeon shows. But I appreciate that album, maybe because I was so young and that was my first situation. And just, you know, it holds really fond memories. So that would definitely
classic album, no doubt. Love that album.
Thank you. But, you know, this interview really felt 702 heavy, and I really wanted to come on here to promote my album because I have been talking about it forever. Since you say you've been waiting so long, let me just get you in the know, bring you up to speed before I let you go.
I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I just like the history.
It's okay. I love it too, and that's why I'm here again. I don't take nothing from that. But I do need it to be known that, again, I have the 3 singles out. Music and I, we don't have a duet, but he helped me. He co-wrote one of the songs with me that I'm super excited about called Tonight, one of my favorite records. I kind of did it in the style of like Angela Winbush and like all the 80s records, SOS Band. You know, it's real, Anita Baker. It's real groovy. Oh my God, I love that song. I even was able to get one from Robert Glasper that I was able to write.
Wow.
You know, sent me a track. Yes, I'm so excited about that. I am such a Robert Glasper fan. So you know, yes, I gotta mention these things. Like 702 is phenomenal, but I gotta just talk about the now and what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I know. Understand and be excited about this project because I'm excited about it. I just want y'all to know, just dropping a few nuggets. Hopefully it will be out no later than the end of 2020 because Corona, like I said, has come in and reared her ugly head. But I'm really excited. So I had to take it back to that. I'm trying to think what other producers are on there. I don't have any features right now. I get asked that a lot. I may or may not. Of course, TC, I know y'all know songwriter TC. He definitely made a contribution. He and my boy Stan Smith, who is an independent artist as well, he made a contribution. He and TC, they really contributed in a really special way because I didn't want this album to be heavy R&B-ish. But now all of these names, I don't know what's alternative R&B and all that. I don't even know what the hell anymore. So music is music to me. But you know, 2C has such a special gift in that R&B lane. Yes, Mom.
They say your cam is too high.
Oh, girl, and now I've been on here for an hour and I'm about to go. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, are you serious? I can see my whole face. You can tell I don't do lives a lot, can't you? My mother just told me, honey, well, we done been on here. We about to go now.
That's classic.
That is so funny. Why you didn't tell me, friend? Friend didn't tell me.
I didn't even think it was an issue. I'm not a live expert either. I don't really do live either. So.
But did she send from my nose up? You can see more than my nose.
No. I saw your whole face.
See? Oh, that's so weird. Okay, hold on. Let me lower this. Well, at this point, I may as well just take off the thing because y'all got me feeling like every time I have an issue because I don't know what I'm doing. Look.
Uh-oh. Did we lose her? Okay.
No.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see you now.
That's so weird.
Right.
I mean, I saw the whole jump. Anyway, that being said.
That was good.
My mom was like, tap, 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 girl. Because I had to lock my door because my son likes to just
interrupt. So now that you told us in the beginning of this interview, you said it's coming in 2020. So now we're going to hold you to it.
Please do. Because, I mean, look, I probably have given y'all several other dates in the past. I try not to give dates. But, like, I'm sick of my own self at this point. I'm sick. Yeah. Okay? I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing myself. Yeah. It's coming. But
shout out to your publicist, Mocha. I'm going to check in with her every month just to make sure I check on the progress.
Yes. Shout out to Mocha for, setting this all up. She's
yeah, absolutely.
Soul Child's publicist as well. And, it's a whole Soul Star company situation. It's just all love. Key Mountain Management, all love. Everybody is trying to, push Meelah along because I can't lie. I'm not the greatest at consistency on social media. So I'm trying to get better with that. But thank you so much because I know you've been following me for a while and I know you tap in every now and again and see what's going on. So I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. Always supporting you, Meelah. Always happy to. Love what you do. So keep it coming.
Thank you. I suck at reading the questions. I mean, I had so many questions, but I was trying to talk to you.
It's hard to keep up with.
Look, I'm going to go live. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my live now, just for the hell of it.
All right, cool.
Put makeup on. Okay.
All right, Meelah. Thanks again. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.